Hi, welcome to part three of the Blueprint to Agency Lead Generation. My name is Clifford Almeida. I'm the founder of MyWeb Audit, a platform that helps agencies generate more leads and close more deals. So in the past video, in the previous two videos, we talked a little bit about the perception versus reality that leads are hard to find. Leads really aren't hard to find. And we talked about multiple communities and websites and directories where you can find hundreds of leads in a matter of minutes, no matter what audience, no matter what industry or vertical you're working in. So after that, in part two of the video series, we talked a little bit about the importance of identifying who your ideal customer persona was. So that way your lead generation or sales, messaging, and marketing effectively connects with their pain points, who they are, and what they need. In today's video, we'll be talking about identifying expensive problems or desired outcomes for these specific ideal customer personas that you worked on. All right. In part two of the video, we also talked about HubSpot and the ideal customer persona tool, as well as StoryBrand's framework and the free tool that they offer as well. If you want to learn a little bit more about that, check out part two of this series. So, solving expensive problems. The topic of today's video is all about you understanding the importance of solving expensive problems for your ideal customer personas. What are they? And ultimately how you can solve them, showcasing and building the trust in your agency's messaging so that when your ideal customer persona sees it, they say, hey, wait, look, this company knows what my problem is and they've solved it for someone else just like me. By solving expensive problems, you're able to stand out from the competition. You move from being one of the options they're speaking to the solution to their problem. Why? Because you know who they are, you know what their pain points are, you know what their desired outcomes are, and ultimately you're able to showcase that you've been able to do this for other people just like them. By doing that, you're able to not only stand out from the competition, but you're able to start charging on value. You can even do value-based pricing where you can 2 or 3x or 4x or more your service prices because you're solving expensive problems for your prospects, right? So what do expensive problems look like? Commonly in our agency, that looks like companies coming to us and saying things like, hey, look, we have no online presence, right? That may be a company that is looking to start a new business or that has been in business for a decade but hasn't had a website. And there's dozens and dozens and dozens of these types of companies within 5 to 10 miles of my business business location, right? And so what you may know, those of you that are in the US, that less than 40%, I believe, of all businesses in America have a website. So when they say they don't have an online presence, that's an expensive problem. They're looking to see how they can get online. Another one could be that we don't get any quality traffic, or we're getting traffic, but we're not generating any leads or sales from that traffic, or not enough leads or sales. And so those are expensive problems because ultimately all three of those, when really diagnosed, oftentimes result to the company saying, hey, we want or we need to grow our business or generate more revenue, right? So these expensive problems are prohibiting them from doing that. We work on a lot of custom web applications. So oftentimes people come to us with manual tasks they're doing on their website or internally in their business, and they're looking to build in automation. That's an expensive problem because they're paying someone in-house to do that. Oftentimes, because they're doing it manually, it is leading to errors, which then cost them even more time and can impact their brand and can impact the results of the data that they're sharing with their partners, for example, if they're a grant management system or they're dealing with call center performance reports. And so automating solutions there leads to them solving an expensive problem of errors or manual labor, where they have to pay a team member to do that on an ongoing basis repeatedly, versus once ultimately automating it and then being able to leverage the automation on an ongoing basis. Right? Other expensive problems would be things like bad reputation, where a company buys out another company, or a company never cared about customer service and now they do because, the online trend is growing. And so that's an expensive problem they're looking to solve. Oftentimes, a lot of those expensive problems can be mapped out to desired outcomes, right? What are really valuable desired outcomes? Those are things like increasing quality traffic, being able to generate more revenue or increasing revenue growth for a business, being able to build a trusted brand presence online, being able to offer reliable solutions, and being able to deliver ROI. These are outcomes that businesses are looking for. And when you're able to solve these problems for them, or at least communicate that to them with your lead generation strategy, with your marketing, you're going to be able to make them feel like you are the solution. You are someone that they're willing to give a little bit more time to, someone that they're willing to click on an ad to go to a blog. They're willing to click play on a video. They're willing to maybe reply back to a cold email or LinkedIn outreach campaign, because one, you've identified who they are without telling them that. You've identified common expensive problems or desired outcomes that are in that industry without telling them or asking them that. You've identified that, and now you're telling them, look, I am the solution to that problem, right? And that's what makes them think, aha, yes, I want to work with them. For example, if someone sent you a cold email and said something to the effect of, hey, I helped this agency close $30,000 in the last 10 days. And wait, this is not a one-off thing. I helped 10 others do that a week ago. And here are raving testimonials. If someone sent you a cold email or an outreach, chances are, if all the social proof is in there and they targeted you effectively and spoke to you in a personal manner, you'll probably click on it, or you'd probably reply back with, yeah, I'm interested in learning a little bit more, if your desired outcome is to generate more business in your agency, or if it is to close more deals, or you're struggling, right? So whatever the expensive solution is, the expensive problem, the desired outcome, what you want to do is make sure that you identify that for your ideal customer persona and make sure that you position it in that manner. The other thing that I wanted to just kind of close with is that when you are looking to speak to prospects or your customers, make sure that you have a mental note about how you're positioning your services, right? So for example, do you talk about building a website, or do you talk to them and say, hey, look, we build platforms that are 24/7 marketing and sales resource for your company, right? That you don't have to pay them overtime. And in essence, all you have to do is put the right messaging out there, and people will come to it, and it'll sell for you. It'll market for you. It'll build a positive experience for your prospects or your customers, right? So it's really, really important to think about it when you're talking about, we build websites that are responsive. Talk to them and just say, hey, look, we build one site layout, or ultimately we design one site and it works across endless devices. When you talk about Google Analytics and tracking, you don't talk about just, hey, tracks traffic. You talk more about, look, we put scripts on your site and then we decipher the data so that you can better understand your visitor insights, so that you can know where people are going or what they're buying or how much time they're spending on a page that matters or doesn't, right? Those insights matter, and positioning it that way helps you talk to them in a manner where they think like, hey, look, this company knows how to measure my marketing traffic. They know how to measure ROI. They know how to deliver ROI, right? When you talk about your care plans, are you saying, hey, look, websites get hacked, and ultimately you want to get on a website care plan with us because we give you a couple of hours of support every month, or we ultimately do your backups, or we do your WordPress updates? Or do you speak to them and say, look, your website is an investment and we offer managed support. So when you need priority assistance, you can reach out to us and we give that to you. When you work with us, you have a peace of mind knowing that your e-commerce site or your website that is accessed by thousands of people every month, or even hundreds of people every month, doesn't go down. And when it does go down, if it does go down, we're there to support you, just because that's what we do, versus having to have you stop your business, whatever that may be, and have someone on your team contact the hosting company and try to figure out what's going on, right? We want to make sure that we do what we do well, so that you can do what you do well, which is growing your business. And that's why you want to invest in a website care plan. So I hope this was beneficial to you. Our next video will be talking about building trust and how you do that through your messaging and through your brand resources and other things like your website. And we'll be covering that in the next video. So I hope you found this beneficial. If you're still trying to figure out how do you take just your website company from talking about we build websites to what does improving the user experience look like, or how do you talk about conversion rate optimization in a manner where it makes sense to the business owner that you're speaking to, or you talk about page performance and security, and you move that conversation from, slow page load times to the fact that 3 or 4 out of 10 people will leave the site if your site doesn't load in less than 3 seconds, right? If you want to know how to position that, check out myweboudit.com. We have plenty of reports there. I hope you found this. We have plenty of information from website audit reports that have all this messaging already put in place for you, to blogs that speak about this and how you can generate more leads and close more deals in your agency. If you have any questions, feel free to join our Facebook group. You can go to facebook.com/groups/myweboudit, or go to myweboudit.com/Facebook. And you can ask us any questions in there. I thank you for your time. I hope you found this valuable, and I'll look forward to connecting with you in the next video.